Hey guys, Crewman here, and welcome to part 3 of I bought a bunch of broken GPUs and what can I do with them. So, the first two parts are me just testing all the parts, right? You know how much I paid for this whole thing? I think it was like $750 for all of them. And you knew that these ones at least posted, these four. Three 3060 Ti's, one 3080. So in this video, part 3, we're going to break this down into 3 sections. First section is where I do a more thorough test of all these. You know, I give them my normal GPU test, I stress them, and I push them as hard as I possibly can to see if they fail. Now, generally that would most likely be an issue with the memory, and I would only suspect that to potentially be an issue on GDDR6X, where, you know, sometimes miners might cook the RAM pretty hard, or the memory, I mean. But if we're being 100% honest, I have never seen that. And I've had some 5080s and 5090s that I've beat up pretty well. Ironically, the one that might have an issue is my own, but that's for a totally separate video. Anyway, so we're going to put these through their paces. Then we're going to try one more method to fix some of these old ones. If you've noticed, a lot of them have a dual boot BIOS, and I wonder if there's an issue with the BIOS. I tend to think not really, because being a former miner myself, I have a lot of experience reflashing BIOSes on AMD GPUs and even some on NVIDIA, and I'm pretty familiar with, you know, how to make sure that everything works. And I did not get the hint that these were BIOS issues, but I have fixed cards by basically jumping the BIOS before, so we're not gonna fully rule that out. And then finally, we're going to talk about what I am going to do with all of these cards. What's my plan? I've been kind of spitballing my plan in the last 2 videos, but actually I have a plan that has already been in place as of filming this video. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Alright, so the first GPU survives under a tough memory load. Firmware is maxed, but as you can see, it's pretty hot. So this thing is definitely going to need, at the very least, a GPU repasting, but it works with no issues, so that's a win. Alright, the second one, under a full stress test, you know, these fans are a little wobbly, but under a full stress test, that looks like it's working just fine. Alright guys, that's 2 for out of the 4. I'll have to repad and repaste this one probably though. Alright, well, this one is good. It's running a little hotter. They're all running a little hotter. As I expected, the paste is probably dry on them. And they might even need to be, thermal pads need to be reapplied. But we'll see. But this one works just like normal, which is really good. Alright, we'll try the 3080 and then we'll wrap up my final thoughts. Alright, so the temperatures are a little on the hot side, but it's working perfectly. Like, there is nothing wrong with this one. Which means that all 4 of the ones that I initially tested through that worked are 100% good. So that's incredible. So that basically means for $750, I bought 13 broken GPUs, a working 3080, and then 3 working 3060 Ti's, which is amazing. All right, so as you saw, all 4 of these cards worked. That is great. I'm going to probably get an ultrasonic cleaner because I have some more parts coming in that in the future, make sure you sub to the channel so you can see what I got coming, that may need that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell these 2, probably keep the EVGA for myself for a build that I've got coming up, and then finally I've got special plans for this 3080. I'm going to do something I think that'll make this thing, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So you'll see that coming up. But these will either be listed in my Discord or put in builds. I think I might just list these 2 on my Discord, but we will see. And if they're listed in my Discord, you will see them for sale. So go ahead and make sure you join my channel to see that. All right, so next thing we're going to do, I've got an idea with this one, and I just randomly picked one of the Asus duels. We're going to see if I can't breathe new life in it one more time. But if this doesn't work, I'm pretty sure that these need to actually be repaired the hard way, and I don't really want to put the time to doing it, so I think I might just sell them broken. Alright, so without further ado, let's go test this out. Alright, so we tried one of the BIOS switches,
and it says D7, which means basically no graphics card found. So I really think that it's something to do with the hardware, but we are going to try one more time on the other BIOS switch. So I tried the other BIOS, D7 still, same issue. Now, theoretically, to be absolutely short on the BIOS chip, I could use BIOS flasher. Now, the gentleman who sold these to me was pretty frank that these were off for quite a while. In a similar environment where I had a bunch of RX 580s off, and the BIOSes were basically all degraded and needed to be reflashed. Now, that's different because you get a lot more control with AMD BIOSes than NVIDIA, and because this is a dual BIOS chip, it kind of has me believing that probably won't matter. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it quick. I'm gonna see how hard it is to get to access the BIOS chip. If it's pretty easy and I can find the BIOS, which I should be able to on Tech Power Up, I might give it a quick go because I already have the flashing software and I already know how to do it. We'll see. If it takes longer than honestly like 5-10 minutes, I don't really think I want to put any more effort into something where I already think I know what the issue is. I was just kind of sedating your curiosity, the viewers, and mine as well. So we're going to do some quick research, and I'll be right back. Right, so that BIOS idea was short-lived. I'm pretty certain it has nothing to do with the BIOS, but I definitely appreciate everyone in the comments bringing that up, and it was worth checking out. So here's what I'm going to do. I know I've already talked about it, but I'm actually putting it in motion. I am going to be listing all of these cards broken. I have decided it's probably not worth my time trying to fix the 3090s. Now, I thought about it, but the prices that I got quoted were pretty high. And based on what I paid for all of these things individually, I think I can honestly just flip them all around and make a quick profit. You know, having 4 of them work was a bigger boom than I could have ever seen. And, you know, a good quick profit will be good as it will allow me to expand my GPUs that I use for testing and put money back into more content. You know, I'm doing stuff with the shed, and I'm gonna maybe do some kind of like PC flipping series as we get into the holidays, because it definitely seems like you guys enjoy this kind of content, and I have something coming in the pipeline that I think might be cool. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start listing all of these for broken as parts. If anybody does know a good cheap repair service, I may consider trying to fix the 90s, but I don't think that the 60 Ti's are worth fixing based on their value and what I could probably get for these things broken. I think I'm going to list the 3060 Ti's because I think they're going to be a relatively easy repair. I think I'm going to list these at we're going to start at about $75 per GPU. They'll be listed on my Discord. And then I think for the 3090s, we're probably going to start listing these at about $350 on my Discord, and we'll see we'll see if they draw interest. I think it's a good price for them, honestly. Like, they're going for $700. So, you know, if you can get one of these, fix it, and you can make a pretty decent profit on it, I think. And I'll do decent on it as well. The 3080s, there's 2 of them. I think I'm going to probably sell these for about $150, give or take, maybe $160. And then that one I am debating not selling, but I'm probably going to sell the Strix 3090, the 3090 as well for parts. So yeah, that's the plan. You know, like I said, we're going to do 75, 350, and probably like 160 for these. And we'll see how I do. I think those are more than reasonable prices to sell these at. You know, it's basically about half of what they go for new. These are a little bit less than half, but I think the price point on these is a little weird, and I have a lot of them. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take some detailed pictures, and I'm going to go ahead and get them listed on the Discord. So I'll probably do a video after everything sells, and I'll talk about how much I ended up making on everything. I think that'll be cool too. You know, look, I have no problem being open and transparent. I have, nothing to hide, and, I'm here to make a profit, and I'm here to put all this money back into my channel. It is a business, and I am growing it, and I'm at the period where you just kind of got to reinvest. So anyway, make sure you like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're not, I appreciate you hanging out with me on this journey. If you guys want to see more content like this, I will do GPU rehabilitation content I'll do some more, I'll do some more flipping. I'll do some more shopping on a budget bill. I've got a lot of parts and I've got a lot of content I think I can do. So that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and thank you to everyone who contributed to this series. We will do part 4, which will be all the profits at a later date. I have no idea when. But if you are interested in buying any of these, head on over to my Discord and we will talk. We can maybe work something out if you're looking to buy bulk as well. That's it for this one. Peace out.